Hello, this is Michael from Blue Gem Tarot. Today's episode, pick a card reading, is gonna be called Unbelievable Compliments About You Kept in Secret. Honestly, it revealed some very unexpected truths to the surface that I really liked to see, and it felt really pleasant and almost sacred to remind you of them. Pile number one has this seashell. Pile number two has Lapis Pendulum, and pile number three has White Sage. You can choose multiple piles because, by the way, I felt as though it would be relevant to say there will be multiple people who will listen to one pile. It will talk about one sphere of your life, and another pile can talk about another dimension of your life. And remain open because a lot of the things that I will say in the readings are gonna be um, because the topic is about secret compliments and unbelievable ones. Those are things that you will most likely not recognize immediately, or obviously because they are secret you will not know them, but this reading was aimed to, or was created with the intention for you to know them or to be aware of them. So basically just know that and remain open to the possibility of not understanding everything immediately right away. Nonetheless, because you stumbled across this reading, it has to be about you, and there has to be something in here, if not actually everything, that is gonna be super relevant and very true about you on some very deep also level, almost subconscious or unconscious, as I like to say, because I end up receiving messages from that area without even trying. So enjoy. The timestamps are gonna be in the comment section and the description section, and I'll be seeing each of you in your piles. Hello, pile number one. We have in here some very, let's just say, off-topic energies, but I'll stick to it, I promise. What's surprising in here the most is the fact that there is a lot of secret admiration that seems to be cloaked in an element of almost unpredictability, or you know what, I can see a lot of like circles in all of the cards. We have this this Ace of Pentacles, the Moon in here, which says surrender to the divine, and also the Sun in reverse. So the overarching compliment in here, theme that's coming through, is the fact that people deeply appreciate you or see you as a very whole. Could be the case that you are integrity driven, or speaking about morality, or like a prize, or like if I have pile number one then I win, or I have everything I need. There is a huge theme in here about wish fulfillment, not gonna lie. And the first card in here is the most like fascinating one, because usually what I encounter, it's the fact that people think like, you know, maybe I'm not that interesting. Like a lot of self-doubt could be the case, but I want to surprise you. I want to say that you have much more people interested in you, in your energy, and pretty much obsessed with your value than you actually anticipate, because surrender to the divine in here says, this energy says or speaks to me about the desire or willingness to go full no control mode, and like almost like being molded by you. And I'm not gonna lie, like this is exactly what I see, because this is like the word surrender, you know? It's like when you love somebody so much that you're willing to surrender your needs, your identity. And I don't want to say it's in a bad way, because the Sun in here in reverse could be a sign of a very delicate person, and you know, unbelievable compliments in this case would be almost like fantasies or concepts circling around your value, that's almost like being fantasized, meaning that they fantasize talking to you, talking directly and addressing your value. So that's kind of fascinating, because I feel like one story you keep on telling yourself, or what you think, is that you're in the shadows, or you're not as like, I don't want, I don't understand why, but I can pick up on some energy of I'm not interesting, I'm not that important. Or you know, I kept on hearing reading those comments saying, you know, I'm not I'm not that necessarily, or like a lot of self-doubt in here. But I want to say and reassure you, because that's just so like funny, and I want to say kind of almost ridiculous because you have the circle in here. It's like everything you ever wanted was yours all along. It's just like we have a discrepancy in here in the perception of things. And some of you all literally are gonna doubt yourself till the rest, like till the, not the rest, but till the last moment of this reading. But I wanna say, the people are craving you, okay? We have the Ace of Pentacles, so that's an offer. That's like, and it's not even like emotional, not talking about like that dimension necessarily. It's not like the Wands energy, Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Swords. This is literally the idea of wanting to like offer and commit. Um, Almost like it's coming through first off as rationally, so it's like people understand you on a concept level, and they want to be the ones to offer something, and almost like they want to offer everything, because we have this Ace of Pentacles being surrounded by this surrender to the divine. So it's like this is literally the story when I see a person coming through and saying like, I'll be whatever you want me to be, like that side of things. And with the Sun in here in reverse, it's like, we're hesitating, or you think to yourself that maybe I feel a bit of this, but I'm not sure if this is true. So I just want to strongly reassure you, and that you'll hear from, not only from me, like the sweetness in everything that I'm conveying in here. It's the fact that your value will be reflected, or your value is so undeniably powerfully true that you're actually gonna hear about this in different forms after this reading, regardless of the time, regardless of how much time passes whatsoever. I just want to say how funny this is, because I was seeing this like full moon in here with the surrender to the divine, and I saw like a circle or like a sphere, and I thought to myself, that's really beautiful. And then I saw the Ace of Pentacles, another like sphere or circle, and then I saw the sun, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of suspicious, because everywhere we have this circle thing. So circles could be a confirmation, could be a sign for you, could be something that's like tied to your identity, could be something that you assign meaning to, or the circle element. This is so funny, like I can't believe I'm talking about shapes, but it signifies, the point, the starting and the ending, and like it being almost like infinite in a certain way. But I want to say, everything you believe about yourself, I want to say the positive ones, because these feel like they're ancient parts of you that you're not seeing necessarily, but you can feel the traces. So it's like, maybe I don't believe in myself, but I have those moments of clarity where I understand or see my value. So I want to say the unbelievable compliments in here, and I want to say like congratulations on that, because it's as if you're under amnesia, okay? Like you could be literally like uncovering your true value, and it's like the secret in here is like, the book of ultimate knowledge, the full-on image that you are seeking or that you're looking for. This is all inside of you already, okay? Like that's what I can see. And almost as if the strangers have various fragments that you can pick up on and say, this sounds really nice, but I can't take it all in. And it's like, okay, here we have a reading that will also remind you of that. But this is not about necessarily, I will go into specifics because we have some time in here, but surrendering to you, like, this is insane, okay? I want you to understand the magnitude of this message, or the gravity of this, because this is surrender. This is no person coming through and saying, I'll dictate the rules. Or you could have had those experiences, or you believe about yourself something in here that's not necessarily, like, you could believe, like, we have some beliefs in here, okay? Pile number one. I'm not pushing you to uncover them too quickly or something like this, but I want you to peek into what I'm seeing in here, because I feel like you have a lot of people admiring you, and you could be literally just not aware of it, but you could be like half aware of it, or you could be aware of it in a fraction. It's like, some of you could even think to yourself like this would be a wish fulfillment or wish come true. You could be idealizing people, you could be idealizing some crushes, character, like movies will play out for this pile being like, I really love this person, I really love this trait, without this pile realizing that they like it because they embody that trait. So that's exactly the case for pile number one. And funnily enough, I want to also say it has all been under your nose all along, or what you've been trying to almost like say, I'm cultivating that, or I'm like working towards. No, you're not working towards it, you are it, okay? Like that's exactly the powerful surging like information that really wants to grab a hold, of you and say, what are we talking about? Like, you are it. You are the main prize. You are that character in a way. And the fun part is, you are even more, okay? So, you could be literally sitting there idealizing a person or a character from a movie thinking that, they're so nice. Guess what? You're that, and you're even more because you're idealizing something else also, or something else entirely. So you could be like literally two, three, four, one, like infinite more things that you could be. And we have this minimizing energy, okay? Almost as if I could say that you regard yourself as like, you know, I'm living this life. No, you're not living this life, you're driving this life. You're driving the circumstances, the people around you, you're driving pretty much everything in creation that like comes in contact with you. And how it drives it, I want to say it comes through as very harmonious. By the way, because it's an unbelievable compliments thing, it's as if people in here said to themselves or felt on a very deep primal level that you are the missing piece. This is the person you meet and say, I've always dreamed of having that kind of friend. I've always dreamed having such a person, and they're like, and I barely know them. And that's even more to find. Like, there is even more to dig into, okay? This is the like wish fulfillment. I can't believe this is possible to be like insane amounts of gratitude in here. Like, you won't believe it, okay? It's being kept a secret. Funnily enough, some people think that you're so aware of this that you're not even interested in hearing this out. No, this is gonna be the wildest part, because exactly like they think that you're so grounded in this belief that you'd be literally like missing out, or thinking that you're missing out on some compliments in here, or they think that you're so aware of this that it's actually pretty obvious or self-explanatory, and you don't have to even overly explain, they don't have to overly explain it to you, okay? But I see you being a must-have. I see hooked up on you, on your energy, addicted to you, and I don't like saying these things without seeing them, or without tangibly making you understand why and how this applies to your case individually. But again, this is like such a center, like, how can you imagine, like, you can love a person so much that you're actually almost afraid to admit how much you love them, and you don't say it, something like this. So you could be encountering this, but you can also expect to ask people about you, and they will tell you things that you won't believe, okay? uh, it would be something along the lines of, you were a miracle when you appeared, you were a wish fulfillment, I never met somebody like you before, I never thought that I would be lucky enough to be chosen by you. Y'all who have partners, you could ask them stuff like that, or even make them watch the reading if you resonate. But I want to just say, I just feel like thanking God for having you. And I saw 1212, okay? I'm usually not with the synchronicities, like with numbers and stuff, but I was like, yeah, it's 1212 in the reading. It's gonna be a separate, never mind. I saw it, I wanted to address it, but it's like, people get comfortable with the idea of you, and they say, I see people saying stuff like that moment when you need somebody, and or you think like, I see you entering people's lives and people being like, I didn't know I need them. I didn't know this is exactly what I was craving, or it's like an answer to a call. So this is like unbelievable compliments, but this is like it gets dissolved in such a deep level, it would actually make you cry. Like I'm literally saying, it would make you cry how much you impacted people. Okay, this is triggering emotional reactions in me as well. But how can it be that I can see in here like this is love energy? No, like undoubtedly, a person literally like it could be partner, could be crush, whatever the case may be. It's like the person literally understanding that this is the big deal, and this is not a story where they say they will play by my rules, okay, or on my terms. No, this is the type of energy when you fall in love that you want to encounter, you want to encompass or contain the person. And when I say contain in this case, it could be like I want to be what that person misses, or I want to be their aid, I want to be their everything. Like that's how it comes through. Okay, not gonna lie. This is very pure. Like this is, and this is no manipulation. This is no like I'm orchestrating this. No, this is exactly, and this is as simple as when you see a child and you love them so much. Um, for example, like daughter, son, whatever the case, like really regardless of that. But when you see a child and when you see them happy and you want to bring the best there is to them because it just makes you happy. And I heard about this analogy and I was like, yeah, exactly. Like you want to bring to this person like the whole world to their knees because and they didn't even ask for it. Like that's the energy, okay? And you're gracious, you're very calm, you're very like you could be stormed, like you could be a storm if you really want, but generally or generously you are in this soft, very like powerful. I know my place, I know my like throne, I know where I sit, I know my power. Very aware it's coming through, and very, let's just say, with a degree of like being humble, but as well confident and balancing things. You could be a lot of things, okay? But in general, I just want to say people place you on a pedestal because you don't seek to be on a pedestal or because you simply are. I suppose it's as simple as that. So I wrote in here surrendering to you, that I already addressed, going full on, no control, no boundaries, no limits or inhibitions. There is a huge urgent here to say that some people, some person, I don't know, wants to repress or really hold back how much they feel. And like that moment when you like, let's just be real. Like the moment when you see your person and the energy is like, I really want to do things. Like I want to, for example, like jump in their hands, okay? But that would be a bit wild because of some setting or circumstance. So I have this in here. So it's like them wanting to full blown show their emotional full gratitude reaction, but it's like, okay, we're like in a situation where I can't do that, but I really feel like doing it, okay? Being true to oneself and honoring you as well. I love that this is not only about like, surrendering and giving up everything. No, this is like this, and I want to be a part of your life. I want to participate in your life and like honoring both. But this is like not that type of honoring where I impose my rules. No. I powerfully think or feel, actually, in this case. It's loving you and allowing themselves and asking for your allowance to step into your life where they can also be a reflector of that love and be seen and acknowledged and validated, yeah, for the love that you give to them, or the other way around, or both. I don't know. It's as if they want to give that love and they want to like feel validated that you accepted it, okay? I can pick up on intensity like everything I said in here is being served, I want to say, like given with healthy dose of intensity, like the things that people feel, the compliments that arise. And by the way, this is not a case where the person or the people really try hard to think about the compliments. What I love about this spell is the fact that it formulates in such a natural and, let's just say, ecological. It's not like necessarily spicy, but like bad spicy, you know. It's like a natural forming of emotion that takes form into compliments or takes form into words, and it's very pure, it's very impactful, I wanted to say. But the energy of wanting to lay everything to your knees, I don't know if I say this like correctly. I was like, okay, I referenced this in the beginning, but is it to your knees? I don't know, okay? But you got the idea. It's like wanting to conquer the world for you, okay? And this is not aggressive, like conquering and leaving everything like barren and dry. No, this is a very like honorable energy I see in here. It's like, I wanna match your level of honor, something like this, okay? Yeah, fully being, wanting to be fully seen by you, and also being afraid, okay? Being afraid of like missing out on you, or being missed or distanced or rejected, okay? This could also be the reason why you have a lot of people not expressing this out. You could be feeling those, by the way. You could be feeling a lot of things in the air, and you could be like, yeah, I know something is going on, but I'm not sure why the person is not saying anything. Yes, not wanting to be overwhelmed. Like there is like, I want to also say, funnily enough, this is also the case when I say um, almost like too sweet or too much positivity or too many things which require them to almost shut down and process or digest everything in time. But I want to say you can almost like trigger so many things that the person is literally overwhelmed. And what I mean by this, the person is like emotionally stable throughout the day, and either they meet you, hear about you, or encounter you, and they are overwhelmed about one positive thing, but then there is the second, the third, the fourth, and so on. And not only that, which already like almost overloaded or surpassed their usual capacity to digest things, there is also sadness and a lot of like almost exposure to the what ifs and panic, therefore. But it's a lot of, let's just say, I need to digest, I need to back away for a moment, for more than a moment. But, you know, like on a deep visceral level, this is like almost, it wants me to say it's a wish fulfillment or a wish come true, almost as if like the phrase is everything you ever wanted or you thought you wanted, almost as if it has already happened, you just don't know it yet, okay? Very inspirational, by the way, and this is like very strange, but everything keeps circling back to the idea of you almost like almost diminishing or thinking that you're regular, okay? When in fact I don't see anything regular about this, okay? There is nothing regular about pile number one. That, you know, it's pretty like it's giving me error in the system, okay? Because I don't understand how can it be that I'm reading all of this in the exterior and I find the perception almost of the opposite in the interior. So you could be having some uh, belief questioning to take place, to happen, because I don't know why and how, but I just see a lot of people in your reality admiring you, and this almost gets by or goes by without you even realizing it or without you truly thinking about this. So it could be literally the case where pile number one could be thinking some thing about them, or assuming an identity of sorts, when in reality it's much, much more, and it's infinitely more than like than what you assume. So it's like, I'm not important, but I can see in here your huge like spotlight, like people thinking about you, like some people obsessing and some people thinking about, like, you could be literally like, doesn't matter if you are there or not, okay? Past, present, of course, future we're not gonna address right now, but like, how can it be that you linger? If you were so not important and regular, why do you linger in people's minds, okay? And do you think, like, I want to give you a genuine question. If you think to yourself, like, this thing, if it resonates, that you think about yourself in some ways that are regular or like gracious or like normal in the bad way, can you question this? Like, can you actually think about this? Like, why this reading came to you? Why this is coming through? Why everything I'm saying in here feels very familiar? Feels very strangely, suspiciously familiar, okay? If you were that normal, okay? Like, and I say normal in the bad sense. So it's like, you know, this pile thinks there is something in here, okay? I cannot put my finger on it, but you have to know what I'm talking about. So this is the case where exactly like this I encountered actually very like, okay, like the person thinks they're not attractive, for example. I'm not saying this is your case, but for the sake of the example, and you try observing them, they walk and you see people turning their heads, like you can see them capturing the attention. You go to them, say like, you attracted a lot of attention. The person's like, yeah, did I do something wrong? Did I wear something that's not appropriate? Like, no, it's not about that. You just have to question, okay? Question how important you are, because there is much more in here, and it's so layered, you won't believe it. Like, I want to say what I'm saying, what I captured in here. If you were like, if I were to give you the glasses to see the truth of the matter in here, you wouldn't be able to handle it. It would pretty much overwhelm you, and you would be living from a different standpoint, almost as if I'm trying to bring you in the reality that I see. Because this energy is like, we got to have more, we've got to have more people like this, okay? It feels very like your energy feels really natural, really like ecological, really like worth. I've seen this like, it, the only thing that comes to mind is when like okay, I play video games. I used to play them, at least when I had some time, but um I saw characters there, so I was like, yeah, these characters, they're adorable. Like, I really appreciate, I love them. Like, I love the characters. And it could be that they reflected something about me or something. And the character was behaving like this in such like funny way, but okay, it was as if they were not aware of how much, like, and I remember also a case where a person was not aware how much they were loved, okay? They were so deep in some narrative that in the end, like a sacrifice, something was made, and they understood how much. This is not the case, not talking about the sacrifice, anything, whatever. This is just an analogy to bring you or to deliver the idea. But like, I can't believe how close this pile got to the idea of people wanting to give you everything. Like, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it, okay? I'm afraid to miss. Yeah, this is the addictive energy I was talking about. Um, this is the energy of, I'm afraid of, I'm getting too comfortable with their energy. There is a lot of chaos in here. And the reason for this chaos is the admiration, okay? I want to also say this is like the energy of people wanting to choose you or saying that you are theirs, okay? We have that. A chance to be with a god or goddess, okay? As wild as it sounds, but this is exactly what I was talking about. I saw in here golden, could be also relevant for some of you. Money could be relevant in the sense that there could be a money circumstance in which you feel in control or empowered, or it could be about gold or golden in general. Silver I saw in here as well, like very like noble metals type of energy, okay? Or it could be something of an like accessory like that you're wearing or that you love, something it being golden or silver, or something like wearing gold or wanting to wear gold or silver and you really like it or something like this. A chance to be in heaven, exactly like this. I love my notes. I love my notes because they complete everything I say, okay? From dust to stars, from nothing to everythingness. This is like exactly what I was saying in the very beginning of the reading. If you win pile number one, you win the jackpot, you win everything. And this is not even lottery, okay? This is like, the heavens gave me the one chance in a lifetime. I better not mess it up, okay? There could be the case, this could be the case also that people can see themselves or perceive themselves actually really low or ghostly or invisible or transparent or very vulnerable with you, and they are really afraid of that energy being expressed. But I can say in here that some people literally, like, especially at night, for some reason came through. You are my everything. I heard that. I heard that. It's like they are my everything and they don't even know it. Okay? Comforting, nourishing, life bringer. Somebody called you their depression cure. Somebody woke up in the morning and they said to themselves, like, you know what? It's like, I never felt so alive. Like, I never felt like. And I saw in here a case where a person was literally like doubting their, almost like, why everything, like, why am I here? When you came along, it's like, yeah, maybe that's why. Like, exactly, like, there was some sort of like almost like grave, like very depressive story in here, very complicated situation, story thing that brought this person almost to their knees. When you showed up, your energy brought this person back into alignment and you don't even know it, okay? You could even like think to yourself like, and this could have been a brief interaction, but something you either said or the way you looked at them, it could be literally as simple as you looking at them and them saying like, this person figured something out that I didn't and I want to be like them. And you gave this hope, you gave this inspiration, and you could literally know what I'm talking in here about. Because almost I can hear, or I can say, and I hear ringing right now. It's like a person asked for a sign, okay? This is the overall, like, asked for a sign. Why? Why this? Why am I here? And you came through, and this will literally play out. Some of you were like, your presence gave them the answer, your words gave them the answer, or a look, a comment, a laugh. Could be as simple as that, by the way. In a moment where the person was vocalizing or in their head saying something like, tell me what's the secret, okay? And you said it, or you expressed it, you looked at them, or something like this. And the person was like, yeah, I get it, okay? If I have the chance to be like you, then it's all worth it, no matter what I go through. Sounds very like sentimental all of a sudden, but yeah. Not in vain I wrote in here Lifebringer, because I can say almost as if you resurrected a person or multiple people in various forms of ways. And I want to say very inspirational. I don't know what you're thinking about yourself out there, but you have no idea. Like, you have literally no idea in what reality you impacted or influenced people, and you craved that and you did it, okay? And you did it with no effort, by the way. Kind of it, okay? I was planning some 20 minutes first pile, but apparently it's not gonna be the case. Thanks for watching. That was very, very fascinating to read. That was fascinating. That is only making me a bit mad and a bit upset, because like this is the story when you see something really valuable that's sitting there or thinking about themselves, itself, whatever, that they are like trying to blend in. Like that's what I can see or hear, or like a chameleon that's trying to blend in some notions or beliefs that are very grayish, normal, like normal. Like I keep on hearing normal, and this is annoying me. Like I keep on hearing normal, where nothing, like literally nothing is normal about this pile in the best of ways. If anything, what's very close to this pile is a sense of completion that's waiting for you, refinement, brilliance, exceptional, and exquisite. Like these are the words that keep on like popping up as I'm like addressing this normality. Okay. So yeah, whatever you're believing out there, out like with you, like out there about you, I would say it's very good to question it. I would say like, can I try looking, or can I try, like, I really love this. Like I say, I thought I am this, or I thought about this person this, and I have all the proof in the universe that this is the case. But I've had moments in which that was proven to be the exact opposite. I remember like literally thinking bad about a person, and they showed up in a very personal kind way the other day. And I was like, you know what? I'm meditating. I'm doing there, that thing, and I'm like, my intuition told me that this person is bad. And they extended a very kind thing that made me question my initial assumption about them. So I want you to do the same thing. I'm not saying you have to question your intuition, but just remain open to the positive outcome, because very often it's a confirmation of sorts. So if you believe something negative, you can kind of pick up on more beliefs about this negativity that confirms it. So I want to say you'd benefit from questioning who you are, really. And especially like the bad things there, that not especially but directly, like precisely the negative parts and the regularity that you keep on telling yourself. You're much more loved than you actually think or anticipate. Thank you so much for watching. I will stop because this will turn in an hour. This is gonna be very easy, but it's gonna make me feel not so easy when I understand that I have to extend every single pile with an hour. So no, I'm not gonna do that. Thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you in the future readings. Make sure to please comment below how this resonates to the situation. I'm really curious to know. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, check out the old videos on the channel, and don't hesitate to donate. I'm not gonna be upset if you do so. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you in the future readings. Take care. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's start with the idea that something is going on with this pile in regards to the vision, the way in which people perceive you. It's as if people got too comfortable. That's what I can pick up on. Particularly this central card in here says confidence is key to success, to your success, with New Moon and Leo. It is a card in reverse, however. So it made me feel as if you were taken for granted for some very long period of time. I see 1717 on the clock. That's weird. What I want to say in here, it makes me feel like we have in here strong longing, strong missing out on you, and a desire to reconnect. I don't know what that is. I don't know where this is coming from, but we definitely have that. It makes me feel like somebody was overly confident in the idea that you're gonna sit there and just wait or just be around. There is a lot of confidence in you that's not being seen by you, okay? I don't know why. Very confident without necessarily knowing it. That's what I wrote. And also it makes me feel like people give credit to your confidence. I don't know. This could be the case, by the way, where you are exuding this energy without understanding why or how, or without being aware of it. Okay, so it means that either something that you did, the way you carried yourself while doing something, and it came to you so naturally that you didn't even suspect that it was actually the charm in here. It was actually the thing that was exuding that confidence. So a lot of secret, unbelievable compliments from the spectrum of, I would be very happy to embody that kind of confidence that pile number two embodies. And you did that again without understanding what was going on. That's the funny part. I feel like it's being kept in secret, or it is actually kept a secret, because there is an element of I've never seen somebody doing it so confidently. I can feel as if the general demographic of people generally don't exude that kind of confidence, or if they do, it's a bit of on a spectrum. It can be like medium to high. In your case, it could have been extreme or very, very like in control of yourself, very like in composure. It's as if your confidence like marginally went from extreme to legendary or something like this. And it wasn't even about the thing that you did, but it was the way in which you performed and you showed up. Something almost like threatening felt about this interaction, or it's as if this person is meant for something bigger than just that which they are doing, or they don't understand how powerful they are. Thus we have this confidence card in reverse. It's as if there is a secret agenda in here to not make you fully aware of how powerful you are. And it makes me feel this is not even about power dynamics or something like this. No, it's very simple. I want to say it's who you are, or who you are becoming, or who you are uncovering, because all I see in here is somebody being confident naturally without label, meaning that I do not see you necessarily being like, I'm gonna be purposefully confident. It's very natural to who you are. Now we have in here Five of Pentacles as well. There was something that you were managing, there was something that you were working with, or your presence automatically brought something to the table. It could have been an effort, an emotion, a state of being. Regardless of what it was, it makes me feel like it's no longer, and there is a whole chaos void that's being left behind because you're no longer there. It's as if we have also this, I'm afraid it's too late for me to cherish them. I'm afraid it's too late for me to place or to compliment them on everything that they did. This could literally be from like ranging from job to family members, something that you left in here. There is an unbelievable contrast and realization, therefore, that makes people understand how much you were valued. And a kind of like a sad, almost, it's not quite sad from my perspective and yours perhaps, but a very like, let's just say, grievous from their side perception about idealization and who you were in their life. It makes me feel like for some people, because we haven't here key to success, okay, um, people see you as being very successful. And also when I say successful, it's like this strangely relates to the idea that you're not necessarily like defining success in a traditional sense. It makes me feel like you are successful because you are you, and not because you bring results in a like predefined way. So it's like, when a person tells you what to do at work and then you give something better that involves your active participation or something like this, it's hugely appreciative. And I want to say like very business almost oriented, or very like result oriented is coming through from pile number two. And a key, I want to say the key element or symbol in here is very powerful because it makes me feel like you are the key to something that people really wanted. This could literally be anything, again, ranging from the social aspect. You represent like either an answer to a call, or with your presence in their life, they have something guaranteed. That's the energy I feel. And it's like Something about you either simplified or simplifies everything, and somebody in here almost like was not necessarily taking this energy, but being like participating in that energy. It's as if, your help really was something that was transforming everything, or a very powerful dynamic or work project in here could be the case. And you're being seen as that very threatening almost. Okay, like it's very success driven, like this person from pile number two, regardless of the situation in which they were placed in, they are exceeding, they are successful, they are exceeding expectations. Okay, I feel like something about you being gone or being detached, it could be that you were detached lately, or it could be that you are like gathering back your, like calling back your power. It generally feels threatening. It makes me feel like this is very much so. It doesn't say necessarily like a water energy, but water nourishes like the earth, for example, and it makes me feel like you are the water that basically connects everything. And with your presence, there is a lot of things that, starting from strongly in this reading, showcasing some resource, and ranging from like this element to more, because I can feel like it's as if for them to connect to you on a personal level and to benefit from that, there has to be some time. Like there is a lot to unpack with pile number two. So it's like you are a key to success, but you're like this universal key, meaning that um, your approach can actually work in a lot of areas regardless of where you're being placed at, and people can feel that, and there is a lot of like almost like envy, and it's unbelievable compliments that's coming from a very, let's just say, inner knowing, that's very strangely like making them feel as well bitter. So this pile will resonate with people who are like almost like go-getters or result-driven, or in general, you are very efficient. You're like really committed and dedicated and determined to bring result, to bring a change, or to revolutionize. That's very like in in tune with pile number two's like purpose or energy, or you're not sitting there like waiting. This is very like confident energy, okay? And I want to also compliment you on the fact that you have no idea what void you left. I don't know what that is. I don't know where this is coming from, but I can feel in here that you are like this foundational person who's sorting things through, even energetically wise. It could have been that you brought some stability or comfort or general sense of ease to whatever you were like participating in. And when you're not there, it's as if, um, some divine element of stability has gone missing, there is a disbelief that you are gone. There is a disbelief in the idea that you're no longer managing or are going to manage something that you so flawlessly did. It's almost heartbreaking, okay? Not that you care that much. I mean, it does make me feel like there was some sort of lingering emotion or thing that was almost taking you for granted for some reason, okay? But I can see in here a lot of chaos emerging, and amidst this like chaos, I can see a realization of gratitude for at least the times in which you were managing this, and there is a lot of memory playbacks in here. So um, it also makes me feel like the moment in which you arrive at a new place, or you're being introduced into a relationship or a group setting, people get a core sense of your importance. I love that. Um, there is an undeniable, almost like challenging energy to you that you are not doing on purpose, but you are becoming popular. You are confident, and that seems to be triggering people quite a lot without even trying this. I can see in here also with this Five of Wands a sort of an energy of fighting for you. I don't know if you're like, I feel like this pile doesn't understand. By the way, it could resonate with 1. I don't know if you're resonating with 3, pile number 3, but I felt to say that you can watch all of them just to see how it resonates for you, because I can feel like it's almost talking about various aspects of your life. Pile number 1 was more relationship category type. Pile number 2, it feels to me like you are powerfully like work work sphere of life type of aspect. It could be literally pile number 1 and 2 watching the same, like could be literally one person watching 2 piles or even 3. I don't know what 3 is gonna unfold, but I felt something was about also relationships. Anyway, fascinatingly enough, I wanna say, and this is quite hilarious, people feel almost a bit I don't wanna sound offensive, but not very smart, okay, in comparison to you. There is either depth, sharpness of mind, very like either intellectually like very advanced. It could be literally in multiple ways, and it is as if everything that you touch becomes very important. This is giving me like King Midas energy, where you bring value to something that was previously seen as not so valuable. To me, that's quite hilarious. Like, to me, that's so hilarious because this pile is a testimony of, like proof of the idea that worth comes from within, not from something external. But I can feel like you are diligently and beautifully performing something, or you're really good at something. That seems to be transpiring in here in the reading. It's as if we have in this Five of Pentacles, everyone keeps wondering about not seeing the treasure in the tree, while you're actually the person who's like, look, it's right there. You just have to go for it. You just have to be dedicated enough. You just have to be passionate about it. You infuse a lot of value in the things that you do. You may think, by the way, like I love that I uncovered this, like you thought one thing, but it was the other. Because I can see this energy so crystal clear, you wouldn't actually believe. You think that you are not that impactful, or maybe that you are impactful, but people don't notice. I want to say this couldn't be farther from the truth, okay? This is, I don't know what to give you, what kind of metaphor to give you, but you are like this, I don't know, like water that permeates everything, and it's very much well known. Like, you have no idea how deeply people are affected by you. You have no idea. And even that is not enough to say it fully. I can feel like you are reaching out into people's almost like minds, perceptions, and impressions, but not even that, but you're actually going further and creating things that further either reflect or infiltrate your energy into people's lives. Meaning that you could establish some system and it benefits people, and they remember you, they think about you. It's as if your care, your energy extends and like nourishes and blooms in people's lives when you could be literally like miles away. When you're gone, there is void. There is black MF void, okay? Black void. And there is lost. There is scarcity. There is chaos. There is blaming. There is drama. There is conflict, okay? There is blaming and seeking the person who was responsible for your... It is a situation that you left, okay? A whole deal of blaming in here is going on. And you think that you're not that impactful. You think that you're maybe not that important. You maybe think, and not everything has to resonate from that department, you know? Maybe some of you are very confident about things and in general, but this combination, genuinely, I want to tell you, this makes me feel like you think about something that's very natural that you're doing, and you even take it for granted. It's as if there is something about you that's very personalized and very personal in general, that's so powerfully nourishing people or helping or aiding them that when you're gone, it's a nightmare. Okay, I don't want to exaggerate or say like, maybe there is that energy as well, but I can say one thing: when you land in some people's lives, you're like this missing puzzle piece, very soulful, very concerned, very like this is exactly the person I want to be friends with. Like that's the energy I can feel. Once you're gone, there are a lot of things that are becoming like unchecked. This could be something as simple as a person at work no longer feeling like going to work because you're not there, missing your jokes, missing your presence, missing your contributions, missing your ideas, missing your voice, literally as simple as that, missing your laugh. Very I wanna say, because I love this so much, this is the case where people think that they're not gonna get attached. This is the case where people think that it's gonna be business, it's gonna be cold-hearted interactions or benefits or exchange of benefits, and it grows into something more. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it almost like obviously goes there as well, because it's a natural part of life. But it's like the idea of you going, it's just not working. Like it's not sitting well. When I hear you potentially being gone, I feel like it's like almost twisting people's like guts. Like that's like very dark, very bitter, very almost blaming themselves. Maybe I was the reason. Maybe I didn't show them how much they how much they bring to the table. You just as well might think that you are regular, a theme that I was encountering with pile number one very powerfully and sadly powerfully there, but it's not the case. This is memorable. This is the opposite of regular. This is memorable. This is honorable energy that you're carrying. This is gracious. You can depend on me type of energy. This is like, give me the spotlight, give me the resource, and I will make it worthwhile. I will use it for the greater good, something like this. And it's okay, like, and also you haven't heard people fighting for you, so you wouldn't necessarily expect it, or you perhaps don't realize that you haven't heard people who are ready to, I'm not kidding, fight for you, and in like, let's just say, not so peaceful ways, ranging from debating and more. But it's like debating and defending you. This is like, I can hear, if you were to be disrespected, my God, there is someone in here who's gonna, like, I wanna just say, who's ready to take on the fight for you. I just don't know who that is. I'm not like necessarily going into that energy specifically, but it's scary. Like, it's scary how fiercely you are actually valued. Okay. It's good, by the way. It makes me feel that the things that you left, again, were associated with chaos. I don't know, it makes me feel like your dedication to things, or the way in which you solved things, and it comes off as almost miraculous for some reason, but it's like, not only I crave them, but I crave the effect of them, of their participation. With new moon also in reverse, it makes me feel like there is a feeling of being stuck in the past, stuck over a decision that you've made, stuck over the idea that they cannot detach, and it's very painful. Also, color yellow could be relevant to this pile. Gold can be also relevant, and I want to just say, for some reason, majestic. And I don't know why particularly this energy. It makes sense to me why, but it's like, I don't see it being expressed deliberately or openly. I don't know why. But you carry that energy to yourself, and it's speaking by itself. I can hear, or I can feel in here, longing and almost worshipping, I wrote in here, worshiping the places that you walked by, or you walked in general. This is making me feel like this is the story when there are very strong memory associations with you, with where you stood, with the places that you occupied, and there is almost like this desire, like don't touch it, like don't, like just leave it how it is, don't ruin the memory of them, because if you mess things up, then, like, I want to say this is like them holding on to dear life with the moments that they've had with you. Like, don't move the things, don't move the chair that they were sitting on, don't throw their things, leave something there. Like, this is a very interesting and intriguing, because again, I don't feel like this pile is necessarily aware of how powerful of a mark they leave, or they left, or how powerfully you are actually appreciated in hindsight. I heard and hear something broke since you left, and I also heard something broke in me the moment you left. Okay? Everything was really well managed when you were around. And I also was looking at this winter element, coldness, snow, wandering, and like almost sickness, void, craving, longing you. There is this feeling of it's as if the sun is gone. Okay? There is no more sun, there is no more, there is only scarcity. And I don't know what you're gonna say to it, but very addictive, very warm energy that you brought to the table. And it was the case where, you don't look through people and define them by their roles. You're not like that type of person who's gonna like label and behave with a person like strictly in one type of a way. It makes me feel like you wholly see the person. That's so valuable. That's so like rare to see or to find. It's as if, you're not like that kind of boss. If you were to be a boss, you could have been a boss, by the way. Could be boss energy in here. Where you were literally working with people and you were seeing the person for a person, okay? For not a tool, not a cog in the system, not a person who's delivering something, not a person who's performing a task, or not a task fulfiller. And I want to say this brought and expanded this radiance into people. It radiated within the collective that you were working with, so that you understand how powerful you were actually in that setup. Because I don't know, it makes me feel like it's a past thing for some reason. I want to say though, equally, everything I'm saying in here is applicable exactly to the place that you're at right now. This is like an universal thing. And the craving, the longing, it's being activated once your energy is gone. I see yellow. This is very powerfully yellow, like solar plexus, expression of self, assertion of self. I want to say, funnily enough, you have managed to defy the system and how it functions. I can tap into some energy of you changing some rules that were otherwise kind of immovable or inflexible. I wanna say like you are almost like the universe's favorite or the boss's favorite or something like this, because no matter what the circumstance that you are being inserted in, it seems to be playing in your favor. And hear me out. How you want to understand this delivery of information is in the following way. There is a ton of preconceived notion or conditioning in the idea of how you are supposed to function or work in people's lives. Almost in a job setting, this would be like a job description that you are supposed to be playing by. This is like the expectation, and I want to say like you exceed a lot of expectations, so much so, like this is crazy, so much so that people want to no longer have like almost boundaries, or they favor you so much that they actually want to like go a step further, because it also feels like you are meeting people halfway, and they want to do that as well. It's as if we have a job situation in job situation terms, this would be something like, you're so valuable, I just want to be more than just a work colleague, you know, or I recognize your worth and I really love you so much that I don't want it to limit itself only to a job thing, okay, a job setting, for example. So it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive the impact this pile has on people. Also, what seems to be the case in here is a bit of a loss of ease, peace as well. How effortless life felt when you were around. And with this Five of Wands in reverse, there is a lot of blaming and fighting over the idea of who was right, who was wrong, who wronged you. Like there is some, like I can see or I can hear two people, could be more, could be less, but I can feel this energy of defense. Like people stepping up and saying this was not right, this was not handled correctly. They didn't deserve that kind of attitude, or they deserved more, or they were capable of so much and you saw just like only a fraction and you just allowed yourself to think of them like this. I want to say it's as if we have a situation where it could have been a worker that was speaking to their boss in such a way, or it's as if or usually the person like remains like silent, mature and collected, but in your case it's as if they couldn't necessarily like hold it back or hold the professional, or let's just say stay silent about this. So it's a very outspoken, in your defense type of energy, even if it's too late. So it's as if, why bother that, like why bother fight for you if you're gone, for example? There is nothing to win. But in here is like a defense, a silent bitterness that was gathering itself up. It was almost corroding the person and they could no longer stand it. And with this Five of Wands, you have no idea how this almost like bitterness cascaded and got itself solidified into a response to a person that they would otherwise like almost for some of them are afraid, or some of them like are wisely choosing their fights. But in your case it was a moment of, you know, this was not right, this person did not deserve that kind of attitude. So pretty much that's it. Thank you so much for watching pile number 2. I hope it resonated. If it did, don't forget to like, comment below how it resonated for you. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and if you want to donate, the link is gonna be in the description section and the comment section as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to hear from you in the future readings. Take care. Okay, pile number 3. Okay, this is so funny because this is coming through as a bit of a teary message almost. It doesn't have to be the full reading only about that, but it's very soft emotional, and it has also another layer. First of all, I just want to say this is coming through as very honorable slash very like respectable type of energy, because we have in here, your dreams need a practical plan with full moon in Taurus. Taurus could be relevant to this pile, doesn't have to be, it could be just the qualities. But I saw in here stability, abundance, respect. There is a lot of praise in here as well playing itself out, but all of it, it's again, because we have the secret layer, it's as if like this is the felt aspect. This is not something that's going to be actively vocalized or something that you will necessarily hear directly from a person, though undoubtedly you can feel it or you can recognize it. Similarly to another pile, your presence brings stability. Your presence brings a promise for something more, for a stable abundance. Could be the case because I do read in combinations, but it's as if like with your arrival, a lot of things either stabilized or are about to get pretty much easy, because the work or the things that you are being given are placed in the right hands. You could be complimented also on some aspect or element of being comforting, reliable, lively, and enlivening in general. It could be also that you're a very structural person, a structural core of a system as well, very similar to another pile. You can, by the way, listen to all of them because they are very similar. But in general, this central card carries a very in very high highly esteemed, okay? Like this is talking about reputation, this is talking about a very serious reputation, about a reputation of a person who you shouldn't cross paths with. Could be also very orderly, could be also very legendary. It makes me feel like there are some circulating legends or energy of legends circulating about your name, so this is very intriguing as well. I want to address though the surrounding cards because this in and of itself feels like a parallel reality of sorts, but there is this sentimentality, is this a word? I don't know. Emotionality, let's say. I'll check. But it makes me feel like there is a hidden dynamic in here at play. There is a huge, very raw emotional admiration in here that will play itself out, but because there is this legendary energy to the table that you bring, either the people or in general people hold back from acknowledging, or this person is hiding this acknowledgement of sorts, because it does make me feel like you could be, there is a sense of, this person, they're so legendary. I don't know if I will even matter enough to um, for my words to even reach them, okay? I love that your presence, it's so powerfully radiant in this case for pile number 3 that you don't even have to speak. And when you do speak, it only in such an exaggeration magnitude, it really tells exactly what your energy was, let's just say confessing, not confessing, but preaching all this time. I find it pretty fascinating how you can have such almost leadership qualities, not okay, leadership qualities almost surrounded by this very fragile, um, thin layer of emotion that's coming through from people, okay? And what I want to say in here, it could surprise you, by the way, a bit. You wouldn't expect or see or suspect in this case, but there is a lot of admiration laced with fragility, vulnerability, and a just simple desire to be close to you. I saw that from the Knight of Cups, but it's in reverse. So it's as if the person is hesitating because they don't feel like they are enough. And we also have this Two of Cups. So it's like a lingering desire to connect intimately. And when I say intimately, this is not necessarily physical closeness. It can be, but it's more than that, it wants me to say. In general, I want to say your energy is very almost public, popular, or driving an element of popularity or fame to it. So it's you're not a gray, dull person that's going to be blending in the background. No, you're very, very popular, I want to say. There is a huge element of your name circulating, and not in small ways. There is this feel to it, we are eager to see them succeed, we are eager to see them unfold and further expand into who they are and what roles or what things they're there is a lot of almost betting of the places, the relationships, and the ways in which people will relate to you in their life, because it's again, very similar energy to what I encountered in the past. It's people are already placing their bets on you and how close they're going to get to you. With this Two of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse, the stakes are really, really high, okay? But it's I don't know, and even the placing of these cards, at least in my image that I'm looking at, it's almost a bit higher than these two. So could be 3 people, could be 2 people, but very much so in their feelings, okay? There is almost this forbidden, lusty, could be lusty, could be like also emotional. It's coming through as being very mixed. That's why perhaps it's so difficult to put my finger on it. But there is this very teary, grievous, longing thing that's in combination with these two cards, like the Knight and the Two of Cups, saying that despite the circumstances, despite the story, despite the storyline, I want to be with them. And simply, I want to say how this relates to the topic itself. This is so funny. Um, Something about the effect of you makes you immediately valuable in their eyes, and something about you, like, I wouldn't even be surprised, because this is what I can hear, is like from the moment they saw you. Okay, like that's the you think about yourself, by the way, in the lens of, yeah, I know I'm this, but I'm not so sure that people are so attached to me, or you are not necessarily aware of the depth of the feeling. And when I say depth of the feeling, because I hate hearing that vague stuff, this is basically when I say depth of how the person wants to relate to you. This is the type of depth that the person wants to be held by you, or vice versa. Or the person really wants to tell you their secrets, and the person really wants to be cherished by you. Or again, flipped, because I can feel like these energies, by the way, in the ways in which they are being shown in here, and they are quite desperate, I can feel as if this could be a flip. It's as if, like, I want you to be giving, but I will give you in return as well. So this is not one-sided. Or not necessarily, let's just say, something that's, I'm gonna take for granted. But your perception of things feels to me like it's much more dry, or you're like almost distracted, or you're not necessarily fully aware of what's going on in here, and therefore this reading found you. But I can feel like there is a lot of water, like meaning emotionality, that's being hidden, and thus we have these cards in reverse. By the way, it could be the case, you're also so unaware of this, you could be even caught off guard, okay? You could be saying, or you could be encountering situations where you would interpret them as being left out, for example, or you could interpret them as being people being not interested in you, or even hating on you. The fact is, this is so far away from the truth. I feel like you are almost unattainable, like your reputation has built this almost barrier in a negative way that you didn't necessarily contribute to, but it happened, in the sense that people are really cautious in the ways in which they are approaching you. I hear that you are worth being entrusted with important things or tasks, or I can feel as if you are being seen as a confidant, or I don't know how you call it, but it's the person that you come for to not debate, but to actually discuss things and actually be like an advisor role, okay? You could resonate with that. Anyway, we saw in here, who's we? I saw in here dream plan. Could be dreams, people having dreams of you. I want to say it's as if people live on in fantasy mode, or with fantasies that they want to have, like, come true with you. A lot of romanticism in here also will play itself out. I kept on hearing as well, because I wrote, you are in my plan. And we also have in here practical dreams. It's as if we have almost a very, like, obsessed, almost hypnotic or obsessive idea of materializing the fantasy that they have. And it's as if, like, there is a message of, like, they have no choice but to comply, or it's like, I'm gonna be their everything. I want to also say that, despite, like, this is so funny, like, I don't know, you could be playing a role that requires you to embody those qualities, but sometimes there is something in here that seems to be shining through, and you could be very, like, flexible, almost as if, like, if you are, let's just say, authoritative, but then you could be playful. You could be playful at some point. And this could be so, like, elegantly weaved together that the person would be like, yeah, like, they are playing the role so well, but they know when to switch and how to do it, that it's very well done, okay? What I love about this pile is how, let's just say, clueless they are, specifically in the love department or the feeling department, okay? If you are a person encountering some dryness right now or unknown, or it's as if like I'm shining but I don't know for who, or I don't understand what's going on, this reading is definitely for you. I can feel in here some very, very warm things that are being delivered or hidden in a very like cold, detached way, okay? You think to yourself, by the way, in a way that's like very almost limiting, or you believe about yourself that you've won in the department of how you're being seen or in the ways in which people relate to you reputation wise. And you don't consider yourself as lucky, let's just say, in the relationship department or closeness department. However, what I can see in here, I don't know, maybe that will not resonate with everyone, but I can see in here a lot of very soft spots in people and a lot of like almost again from the past, people that you truly loved and they didn't forget you, okay? I want to say like leaving a mark in here, like funnily enough pile number 2 left a mark in one way, and this one is leaving a mark in their own way, again similar also to pile number 1 in a way. But yeah, I want to say this is like strangely relating to the fantasy, emotional. I want to make it work no matter what. Very light, pure, and also this knight in here, very almost immature, almost grasping with the idea of um, grasping the idea that they want to be with you, even though they find themselves unprepared, or there are a lot of things in their life that are mismatched or are not necessarily in alignment with who you are, and they want to match those. So it's like a very strong pull from the universe of swords to make them mature in a very fast way, by the way, because they love you, okay? And it's almost like I say they love you, and I want to say it's like, you know, this pile will deny it for some reason, or this pile is like, I'm not concerned with this. There is a huge longing in here to be loved and to be validated in that love, and it's very natural, it's very normal and very welcomed, I would say. There's this energy of wanting to step up for you, wanting to offer you their heart and soul, but also kind of being afraid, or also kind of being like, you know, I'm never gonna match their energy and they are most likely gonna outgrow me. There is a message in here saying I've never met somebody like you before. So there is something about you that's pretty much irrepeatable or so unique that it's actually catching the person off guard. And again, instead of it making the person feel closer to you or more connected with you, it seems to be creating that distance. Overall, the overarching theme in here with the unbelievable compliments kept in secret is an overwhelming amount of emotional admiration and awe. There is in here, I wouldn't be surprised, one person who's actually venerating you, okay? Uh, this is that kind of infatuation where the person is actually daydreaming and fantasizing about you. Though this is all kept so tightly under wraps that you wouldn't even suspect who this is, or you don't even think that it affects them in such a way. Not only the person wants you in this case, this is craving. But again, there is this energy of I'm not worthy of you. The energy projected at you as compliments feels very genuine. So the compliments that you are being given, at least in silence or in their subconscious, I don't know, they are very genuine. They are very like they're coming from a very genuine space, heart space, emotional space. But they are all like almost like being kept there. Okay. There was also an energy of all eyes on you. There is a lot of attention that you attract as well effortlessly. There is also kind of an element of, you know, you've built this personality and you work it really well. And not gonna lie, this pile, there is somebody in here wanting or waiting, actually, waiting, I wrote, to confess how deeply they feel for you, but not knowing how or when to do that. I also, funnily enough, saw in here like somebody were a person here was sweating when they were near you. They were so emotionally fragile in the moment, and in general so emotional fragility is going to be the case, uh, the person was literally sweating. Okay, like that's the channeled thing that I heard in here. Genuine, like pure, almost immature love. Like it's that kind of love that um you find in high school, like in that period of time, or it's like the first love. Okay, not necessarily high school because it gives me some other energies, but this is like the first love energy. Okay, that's very similar to, but the fun part, like not the fun part, okay, maybe that's not even for me, it's not fun, it's not for you as well, but all of this is in reverse. So either you are not aware of this, either the person is hiding this, either the person is hiding this and you're not aware of it, the full picture, but you could have had some intuitive hits about this, like, something is going on. It's as if like emotionally you're well too good to put together for them to actually qualify to be with you. I don't know what's going on. There is craving in here. There is this feeling of, I want to be close to them. And the idea of being close to you, it's super, super warming them up. Like, I want to say, it's making people feel like, they are like back how they felt when they first fell in love. Okay? Something about your energy as well makes people feel very committed, or there was a person in here saying like, I'm really willing to commit. It's as if we had in here almost like a discrepancy of sorts in which a person was behaving in certain ways, or like very lightly dismissed people, or almost like unfortunately used people. This is coming through, but with you there was this like revelation of sorts that the person was actually willing to, because they feel so much for you, they're willing to, I don't know, change and at least be for you something that they were incapable of being for all the people that they were interacting with in the past. Something else about this pile that I really want to address, it's the fact that you are actually unaware that you are very and fiercely lovable, even if you're doing, or if you're playing this role or not, that I was talking about, even if you're doing this on purpose or not, or effortlessly or not. It makes me feel like there is this, be aware of how many people love you because you're so lovable, and effortlessly belonging, okay? There is this almost performative element coming from this pile, not necessarily out of bad, like, it's not a bad message necessarily, okay, but it's like, almost trying to win people over, or to invest some sort of effort to take something that's, actually yours already. You just almost like lie to yourself, or almost like feel comforted by the idea of having to go extra lengths to achieve that. So it's like you're trying to fit in perhaps with a belonging element, or you're trying to do something so as to win someone else's favor, when in fact you want this person's favor all along, okay? um, you are very like almost as well relatable, and very like, I saw in here the energy of people saying like they are one of us, or they are like us, they're just like us, they're so like just lovable, I heard. And I also see in here some sort of person being aware of your tendencies, and for some reason in silence really like complimenting you, and like almost adoring, or almost like approving of you and giving you validation. But it's not, it feels like it's a person who's like almost very stoic or reserved, but there is like this almost elevated feeling of admiration and recognition of either status, or a way in which you are brilliant. Like that's what I want to say, or I keep on hearing. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. um it was surprising for me, like that emotional element, because those elements are usually very apparent to me, and for some reason for pile number 3s, they usually end up choosing 3. It's a very personal reading type of story for some reason, but there are a lot of things on the list that you think you have to attain, but they're already inside of you, or you're already possessing those without you even realizing it or knowing it truly. Yeah, it feels like the realization of how much you're ahead, and it's not about even being ahead about the speed, about how you move in life. It's about the realization that all you want is actually inside of you already, and you just have to open it up, find a way to open it up at least. And there is no chase, like there is no place to go but to be you in this life. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I think that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment below how it resonated personally for you. If it did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you want to donate, don't hesitate. There is the link in the comment section and the description section as well. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you in advance for all of your support and kindness that you express to me, to my channel continuously. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you in the future readings. Take care.